So how do you integrate BookFunnel with Kajabi? Well, first, why do we want to do this? So there's something that's trending for the last couple of years, and that's direct sales for authors. What if instead of only getting a 20% cut or 30% cut from one of the big retailers like Amazon, and by the way, I have my books on Amazon. It's a great place for discovery. Not always a great place to maximize profit. But what if you had the ability to deliver Kindle books, audiobooks, and even print paperback and hardcover books, which we'll save that for another video, to your audience directly and keep 95% or more of the profit? That's what we're going to be talking about in this video. Now, BookFunnel, if you're not familiar, I'll do an entire review of BookFunnel in a different video. BookFunnel allows us authors, it allows us to do a lot of things, but allows us authors to be able to sell our digital books where they can still read it on a Kindle. They can also get the audiobooks if you want to add the audiobooks option. They can also read your digital book right in the BookFunnel app. There's a really cool BookFunnel app that allows your customers to read your digital books and listen to the audiobooks right inside the free app, which is pretty amazing. Now, in order to do this and have it integrated with your website, if you're a big Kajabi user like me, we've got to integrate that into Kajabi. And that's what I'm going to show you how to do in this video. So let's get right into the screen and let's jump into it. Now, the first thing you're going to want to have, obviously, is some kind of order form. So this is what you're going to set up in Kajabi. If you're familiar with Kajabi, you know how this works. For this example, I've got a $4.99 digital version of one of my books. And also I added a order bump to grab the audiobook as well. By the way, this is the power of doing direct sales as an author. You can maximize your earnings. I could also put the first upsell might be want to grab the course that goes with it, or want me to add the workbook that goes with all of this, or you want to buy the next book in the series. There's lots of options for us to maximize our average order value as authors. That's the power in doing this. So how do we, though, when someone orders this, how do we deliver it to them on the back end? And that's where I use BookFunnel. That's where BookFunnel comes in. Before I do that, though, there's one important part, and I'm in the back end of the order form. You do not want to or need to add anything in the products in this offer. So I'm not giving my audiobook through Kajabi. Now, you might say, well, Jonathan, isn't there like digital downloads now? But can't we just put the book there? And can't we just put the audiobook there? Well, let me just say this. For me, it's not that great of customer experience. I have tried to customize it in lots of different ways, but it's just kind of clunky. It's not as easy as them being able to, in this case, open up an app and just click on one of these and start listening to the audiobook or start reading that, or actually even put the book on their Kindle, which BookFunnel will make that easy as well. So to me, it's all about the end user. I don't want to just do it because it's easier for me. I want to also think about my end user and what's best for them. So I don't put any products in here because BookFunnel is going to do all the delivery. Now, let's hop over to BookFunnel and let me show you this. Now, the first things first, when you come into BookFunnel, if you're not familiar, you're going to need to add your books here. They do allow you to also add audiobooks, but you need to pay, I think, an extra $15 a month to be able to do the audiobooks. But for me, it's well worth it. I just got to sell one a month to make it worth it. So the first step, which I'm not going to go into, is to just put your books on there. You just follow this, add a new book, add a new audiobook if you have that opened up, and do that. Okay, once they're in there, we can come down here to sales. Now, there's lots of stuff you can do at BookFunnel. I'm just focused on integrating this with Kajabi so you can make sales of your books. All right, so what you want to do, if you come over here to delivery actions, this is where you are going to set everything up. So you're going to come in here under sales, you can come over here to actions, you can hit new delivery action. Now, what we're going to use is Kajabi to accept the payment. So let me come back here. Kajabi is going to accept the payment just like you would sell anything else. On the back end, Zapier is going to trigger the sales action for BookFunnel to send a second email that is going to give them access to either the digital book or the audiobook, whatever they purchase. So that's what we're doing here. So you can go down here to sales. We're going to click on new delivery action. Now I'm just going to open one of these to show you what it looks like. It's pretty straightforward and simple. All right, first thing, you need to name this. Now this is your own name. So this is helpful because you need to understand what this is. You'll get confused if you don't have it. So I just simply have mine say DYM for Discover Your Message Book, and it's the digital. If this was audiobook, I would have audiobook here. Now over here is where you need to select your book. That's why you need to go upload it first. So in this case, I am grabbing book number 1. And then down here, I leave this at immediate. I put my product page link in here. It's up to you. Basically, it's just more reference for you. Is back to the order form reference is what I have it for, but you can leave this empty. But you have to have this item SKU because this is what's going to communicate to Zapier which book to send. Okay. So I just am using a simple SKU called Discover Your Message, DYM, and then the letter D for digital. And then you want to save it. So that's it. That's all you got to do in BookFunnel. Now notice when let's go back here. When I open up this delivery actions, that I use a different SKU for the audiobook. So I would just use the short abbreviation of the book title and the word audio. All right, now we're going to jump over to Zapier. Zapier is a way to have two tools communicate with each other, and it's got both Kajabi and BookFunnel in it. And so this is what we're going to do. I created a folder just for my digital books. And if I zoom in here a little bit, I'm still working on getting the rest of my books in, but you can see here, I've got 4 of my books in here. So let's open up one of these and I'll show you. Now this is just my own naming conventions. You can name it whatever you want. I have my own internally that I use, and it just helps me to know what it is. So I don't get confused, because oftentimes you'll create it and then months later you come back and be like, what does this do actually? So for me, this is just telling me that it means a digital book. This is the book, and it's going Kajabi to BookFunnel. So if we jump into it now, you will want to choose, it's kind of a, if this happens, then do this. So for Kajabi, we're going to want to choose new purchase. So I'm just going to open that up so you see. You'll choose your site. The first time you do it, you'll need to log into your Kajabi account and it'll connect it. But then you need to find the offer. So I'm going to hit edit here. And just to show you a little bit how that looks. So you're going to come in here and it's going to be blank, and you're going to click on this section, and it's taking a second because it's going and retrieving all of your offers on Kajabi. And so you want to type something in, like if I type in digital, then I can find it right here. This is my offer. This is what I named the offer in Kajabi. So I'm going to pick that one and then continue. All right, continue with selected record. I can do that, or you can just skip or move forward for the demonstration of this. All right, now we're moving on to BookFunnel. The very first time, it's going to ask you to log in to BookFunnel. Mine's already attached here. We are going to choose Sales Delivery Action as the action event here, and it's going to have your account already logged in, like I said. All right, next step. It's going to pull in, and the first time you may need to find some of these. So it makes it pretty easy. So for example, it makes it pretty easy because we're just trying to find, sometimes it'll try to pull in which ones, but these are different fields inside of Kajabi. It's why the little logo's here. And you're going to try to match it up. So this one, transaction ID, and just match it up. You want to match up the email address. You only have to do this one time. Match in their first name. If you would like, all of these are optional. You do not have to mess with these. One of the most important ones, though, is right here. So I'm going to delete this one. This is that item SKU. Remember the item SKU that we created back over here? So for the Discover Your Message Digital, I did DYMD. I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to type it in, DYMD. And then this is important. You have to hit return or enter to put it right here. Okay. You'll need to choose the offer title here, which I've already done. And I think that's it. That's all the required fields. We hit continue. And then you can test it or you can hit publish and move right on from there. So that is the steps. Once you have that set up, you might want to go back and test it. So the way that you would test it is if you want to use Kajabi and you want to actually go through it, I would set up a coupon code where you could get it for free so you don't have to purchase your own product. Use that coupon code, go through, and then see if everything works accordingly. And so one other thing that I did that might be helpful for you to see is inside of the offer that I've got here. If you scroll down, you might want to create a custom thank you page. And it can be real simple. Thanks for your order. In this case, this is audiobook. In just a bit, you'll receive a second email from BookFunnel with your private download link. So I want them to know that's coming. So I have that on the thank you page. Look for an email from BookFunnel. And then I also down here, I created a custom email that has the same information as well. So as soon as they order, this goes out to them instantly. Now, when it comes to the audiobook, you're going to do basically the same exact steps. So you're going to go from creating the order in Kajabi, the offer, I should say. And then once you have the offer set up, you will then come over here to BookFunnel. In BookFunnel, you will, obviously you're going to need to upload your audiobook. Once you come in here to the delivery action, I name it a little bit different. So this case, this is Build Your Audience book, but it's the audiobook. So I have BYA audio. And then when I come over here to, I have a folder that's just for the audiobooks, again, to help me stay organized. And let's go back one more level. We got audiobooks here. Here is the Build Your Audience audiobook right here. And if we skip ahead to the BookFunnel portion, you'll see that the SKU is the BYA audio. That indicates that is going to send them the link to get the audiobook. So what do you think of that? Is that pretty awesome? You can sell and you could price, you can add order bumps, upsells, and sell your own digital books, audiobooks, keep more of your money, and more. Now, you say, Jonathan, what about print books? See, I've got a bunch right here. Those are all the books that I've written. What can we do this with print books? The answer is yes. You can do this with a software tool called Book Vault. And if you want to watch this exact same setup where I sell print books on Kajabi and I never touch the book, it gets printed, it gets packaged, it gets shipped to my customer without me having to hold inventory. If you're interested in that, then go check out this video right here.